afternoon YouTube. In yesterday's video I said, well, I'll try to be up at 9 and start at 10, but I slept in. It was a really fun evening last evening and I was so tired. I normally go to bed around 10:30. It was 2 o'clock. I don't drink normally, so having a few beers and wine, well, I don't have a headache, I don't have a hangover, but I'm just tired. Not used to this anymore, I'm becoming old. When I got up I was searching for an excuse to not start writing, but now it's 12 o'clock and I decided, let's do this. This morning when I was questioning myself, questioning stories, questioning NaNoWriMo, just really feeling insecure about myself, I thought of the story that I once thought of while working out at the gym. I didn't do anything with it because I don't know if I like to write that kind of story, but it was another idea I was thinking about. It's about a woman who hangs her whole identity to being fat. When people are nice to her, she thinks it's out of pity. When people are mean to her, she thinks it's because she's overweight. She always compares herself to others. She has a really low self-esteem. She signs up for this gym because she wants to get healthy, even though she already thinks, well, I won't make it anyways, I'm not good enough. At that point, she has the stake in, and it's with the owner of the sport club, and it's a very handsome Italian, Spanish-looking man. He has shoulder-long black hair. They both fall in love. Because of her low self-esteem, she doesn't believe anyone else could ever love her. She's really sad. She's really confused because when he is sending signals, she only hears, he's pitying me, he thinks I'm sad, he thinks I'm a sad person, blah blah blah. She starts losing weight and at one point she realizes she's becoming good looking and thinks, well, he's only hitting on me now because I look good. Well, in the end, I'm not sure if I want them to end up together. I think that's my idea for now. I'm not really pleased at it, but it's my best idea so far. I'm going to announce my project on NaNoWriMo now and then I'll start outlining. So I'm on the NaNoWriMo page, go to projects. I still have a going on project, maybe I will finish it someday. Announce a new project. What's the name of your project? I think I'll call it Weightless. Which privacy do you want? Sure, let it say public. What type of project is this? This is a novel associated with a NaNoWriMo event. Yes. On to your goal. Because you have chosen NaNoWriMo 2020, some information cannot be edited. Go back if needed. Okay, bye. Goal name can be changed. What type of goal is this? Writing. What is your goal? 50k. What's your start date? What's the last day of writing? On to the details. What are the genres? It's a romance. Not any other genres I think will work for this. Add a project summary. It's about a woman falling in love with no. Add a project summary about a woman with no self-esteem falling in with a gym owner. I don't have anything written yet, so that's something I can do. What's your project's Pinterest? Still need to make a Pinterest board if I want to, I'm not sure. And my project's playlist is not made and maybe not coming. So I hope I can change that in the future. I love this little Viking helmet. So my project is announced. And now we have time to outline. So before I start talking about my outline, I want to say one quick thing. I'm really sorry about how my nails look like now. Last night I lost a lot of my nail polish and I promised myself I can fix it up after I did my outline. So bear with me, I'm not liking it either. For outlining I have all of these colored pens. Some have a small tip, some have a bigger tip. I'm not sure if I'm going to use them, but I always put them down for when I need to draw something. I can't draw, but just having an idea of how a certain room is furnished or something, I love to make a sketch of how it will look. If you don't understand what I'm drawing, don't worry, nobody does. I also have an extra black pen and I have my lovely markers. And I just love how they look in this display. Even if I don't use them, I just love looking at them. So when I outline, I take 3 problems that my main character is having. So her first problem is her self-esteem. Her second problem is falling in love. And her last problem is not believing the one she loves. These are her 3 problems. This is her worst flaw. This is her thing that just happens to her. And this is something that is triggered by her self-esteem, by her flaw. Then I'm going to see how I can see this in the story. So for the self-esteem, talks down on herself, compares herself to others. She's judgmental. So now I'm going to see what her self-esteem does to falling in love. She doesn't pick up signals. She in a way punishes herself for being in love. And for not believing the one she loved, what will be in the, probably at the end of the story, the huge problem. She'll try to make the love interest jealous. LO stands for love interest. I think she will try to go back to her old life. This is the main problems these are the 3 main problems of my character. And now that I know this, I can see what will happen that she doesn't have a problem. Well, her self-esteem, she will lose weight. Her losing weight will make her happier and proud. She will open up more and be less tense. And I don't know if I spelled tense correctly, because normally I do my outlining in Dutch. But because I said to myself I would take you with me on this journey, I'll try to do some things in English. But I'm very sorry if I misspell some words. So falling in love. The bad part is she doesn't pick up signals. She's punishing herself for being in love. The good parts are she'll have a closer look to her current relationship. So while writing this down, I realized there's another thing for the falling in love. The bad part. She doesn't believe her friends when they point out the signals. And for the good part, after have a look at her current relationship, she decides to search for a healthier relationship with herself. And I think that will be something in the story where you'll see that she's going to live on her own. I think she was the type of girl that lived at her parents, fell in love, lived with her boyfriend. She's the type that never lived alone. So she has no idea how it feels to be alone. And that's something she needs to work on. Last part. Not believing the one she loves. And for the last part, I don't know what she'll do. because there are two options. She'll either still in love with that gym owner and become happy with him and adapt to a healthy lifestyle and still working on herself, or she realized that she isn't happy with her ex, isn't happy with the gym owner, and that she learns to be alone more, like here in the healthy relationship part. I think that's well something I need to write down. So this is what I want my main character to go through. I still need to work her out as a person, but these are her flaws and her problems that she has to overcome. So now I'm going to make a list of people that are involved in this story. We have the main character. And I don't know names for these people, so that's something I'll do when I outline the people in the story. We have the love interest. We have the ex-boyfriend. I think I'll give my love interest an ex-girlfriend who is extremely pretty. That will piss off my main character. So we have these 4 people. And the sports school where she's going will have a bar. I was thinking if a U-bar where you can get sports drinks and you can buy healthy stuff or just get a cup of coffee. I need someone to work the bar. I think she's one of the friends of my main character. I want someone to help her with the gym stuff. So personal trainer. I think these are the 6 people that matter the most in my story. So now that I have the 6 most important people in my story, I'm going to find a way how they connect. You have my main character. She goes to the gym. And there she'll meet the love interest. I will call her the bar friend, her personal trainer, and the ex of the love interest. So most of the story will be in the gym, but there'll also be a part of the story at home, and there she has her ex-boyfriend. So how do these 2 meet? I think they once met at a party. I'm not sure how they met. Then we have the love interest, the bar friend, and the personal trainer, and they all met through work. And I think the bar friend and the personal trainer are friends. I know I need to make some other people working there, but they all be background people. So this is the basic setup of how all the people met or how they're connected. Well, it wasn't a huge puzzle. I sometimes sit here for hours trying to figure out how people know each other. So this was pretty easy. And now I'm going to write 5 sentences. So the story will go something like this. There's a problem, solution, bigger problem, solution, last problem, and the solution. So this will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it will be so this is my story mountain. And now I'm going to write a sentence. And now I'm going to write 5 sentences conflicting. The first problem and solution, the second problem and solution, and the third problem and solution. That's something I'm going to do on my computer. So I have my 5-line story filled in. MC, the main character, is a woman who is dealing with being overweight for her whole life. She is in an unhealthy relationship and wants to become a mother. Because she wants a healthy baby, she decides to go to the gym. She thinks the gym owner is handsome, but is sure he isn't interested in talking to a fat woman. MC is enjoying the gym, losing weight and meeting new people, making her happier and proud. Falling in love versus old relationship. When the gym owner is showing interest in main character, she thinks it's because he's pitying her. When her new friends tell her he's interested, she doesn't believe them and says she isn't interested. At home she realizes her current relationship is keeping her down, so she'll end her relationship. She tries to live on her own and explore a world of being single, and she starts to become good friends with the love interest, but still pushing him away sometimes. And for the last part, when the love interest tries to win her, they'll end up in a fight over interest and weight and stuff like that. The main character will try to make the love interest jealous, and I think maybe she'll do that with her ex-boyfriend. The main character and the love interest are still in love, so that relationship with her ex-boyfriend fails again. The main character and the love interest will have to decide how they want to spend the rest of their life, and that means just acknowledging each other, being friends or being in love. And I don't know the answer to that, so that's why it's pretty vague, and that's why I wrote the last line. The MC and love interest will or won't end up together. So that's still a question mark. There's still 2 options. For the last part of planning for today, I'm going to write half a page to a page per problem. This way I have an idea of how the story will go, and later this week I will start making my main character, and I can use this sheet to see how she's developing. We'll make 3 pages out of these, and then I'll start writing. And this is the part that I'm writing in Dutch, because at the end the story will be in Dutch and I will have a much better idea of what's going on when I write it in my own language. The beginning of the story has an outline. Most of the part I wrote is about how she's seeing herself, because that's the first problem she really has. It's about how she meets her love interest, how she meets her friends, new friends. So that's mostly the first part. So second part, here we go. So the second part I wrote isn't very long, but it gives a good idea of how the story continues. So in the second part, my main character is noticing that her relationship isn't healthy. She sees it because her partner isn't helping her to lose weight. The reason he does that is because he is noticing that the two are growing apart, and he doesn't want them to grow apart. He isn't ready to change his life completely around, from lying around enjoying food to eating healthy and working out. So he tries to pull her back into her old lifestyle, mostly because he doesn't want to lose her. They get more fights, and the main character talks about these fights with the bar employee and the personal trainer. She tells that she thinks it's really hard to keep up eating healthy and going to the gym when stuff like that is happening at home. But when people are suggesting that maybe her relationship is the problem, she still searches for excuses to keep her relationship, mostly because she can't be alone. So at this point I decided that they won't break up immediately. I think that the main character isn't strong enough to do that. So she and her boyfriend are separating. She is going to live somewhere else and has the time to think what she wants in her life. In this time that she's living alone, the main character and the love interest are growing closer and closer. So she tells him about her problems, and he tells her about his problems with his ex. the main character doesn't believe him. The main character is spending more time with the bar employee and her personal trainer. They become friends, very close friends. Now let's do the last part. So for the last part, the love interest confronts the main character about the mixed signals, and the main character is for some reason in a fighty mood. I still have to think about why. And she's like, well, if I was still overweight, then you wouldn't have interest. And he is like, no, I wouldn't. And then she's like, yeah, but in the beginning, you showed not a lot of interest in me. So the love interest is confused, and he's saying things like, I first want to meet people before becoming really good friends or in love with them. And even though those are really valid points, the main character keeps saying yes, but now I look better and now my weight is better, and that's the reason. And well, they get a huge fight. So the love interest tells her she's ruining her life with thinking that everything happens because of her weight, and the love interest tells the main character that she should probably work on those things and get help. So the main character is super pissed off because that's not the thing she wanted to hear. So she decides to hurt the love interest. She does this by going back to her ex-boyfriend, and this guy just really wants to be in that relationship again, so he even wants to change his lifestyle for her. So the main character takes her boyfriend to the gym, and the love interest tries to stay away from those two as much as possible. And at one point they meet, the love interest and the main character, and they have a huge fight in the center of the sports school. Everybody can hear it. So the bar employee and the personal trainer don't agree with the main character to bring her boyfriend to the gym. They still want to meet him, so she's introducing him to everyone. And even though they're working out together and they're being very good friends, their relationship is over, the spark is gone. They still try to work out together, but they're not seeing each other anymore. The love interest doesn't know that the relationship is over because he tries to avoid these two as much as possible. He sees them still working out together, so he's really believing that they are still dating and everything is going fine. And the main character is missing her love interest in her life, and because of everything that's happening, she sees how her way of thinking is clouding her life, so she will find help. And even though she makes great progress in clearing up her thinking, she doesn't want to talk to the love interest. She just doesn't have the courage. The love interest is still in the belief that she's still dating, and at one time, around closing time, he finds her ex-boyfriend and his ex-girlfriend together. And I don't know, I wrote down maybe just kissing or maybe something a little bit more spicy, like in the shower. A few days later, I think, the ex-boyfriend will talk to the love interest and tell that he and the main character are separated for some time, and that the main character is still missing the love interest very much. So the love interest decides to go talk to her, and I think I will write that in the way that the ex-boyfriend and the ex from the love interest are not telling anyone that they are seeing each other, so nobody knows. At one point the love interest will visit the main character and tell her about everything what happened, and then ask her to talk, to continue their relationship, to throw a party. I don't know what he's going to ask her, because I still don't know if I want them to end up together or just end up being good friends. So that's the idea of my story so far. The next time I'm going to work on my plot, I will take the first part and I will divide it in chapters. This was my outlining for the first week. I'm really curious about how you outline. Do you use something similar like this? Do you pants the story for NaNoWriMo? Thank you for watching my very chatty, very typey video. Good luck prepping for Preptober, and I see you all tomorrow.